Hey there, gang. With rotation on our doorstep, I've been thinking a lot about how we react to change. But remember, a cactus doesn't live in the desert because it likes the desert. It lives there because the desert hasn't killed it yet. Let's play some head games. Friends, opponents, gardening enthusiasts, welcome to Head Games Arena. My name is Jahren, and this week, in our last week of Final Fantasy Standard, we are going to play a deck that has been plaguing the ladder all season long, and by that, of course, I mean we are playing Jumbo Cactuar in a Rakdos Reanimator shell. What does that mean? Jumbo Cactuar is a 7-mana creature, it's a 1/7, and it has 10,000 needles, which means whenever this creature attacks, it gets plus 9999. Now, in Final Fantasy, that's the maximum damage in a lot of the games, which is where the reference kind of comes from. In Magic, 10,000 damage is an absurd amount of damage. Really just absolutely over the top. It might as well just say target player loses the game. There's almost no circumstance where they're going to have more life than that when your life total starts at 20. So getting in with a hit with Jumbo Cactuar is essentially a one-turn kill. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to play a Rakdos Reanimator plan, so dumping cards into our graveyard with cards like Bitter Triumph, which is also a removal spell, but it lets you discard a card. Bitter Reunion, discard a card and draw 2 more. Fear of Missing Out, discard a card and draw 1 more. We've also got Overlord of the Baelmerk, which just mills 4 cards and that gets a creature or planeswalker back. Trumpeting Carnosaur puts itself in the graveyard when it discards for the 3 damage effect. And of course, we're also playing 8 Surveil lands in 4 Conduit Pylons and 4 Raucous Theaters. So the all-star of the deck is Ardyn the Usurper. So if you reanimate this first, it reanimates another thing, and that essentially is the combo. Get a Cactuar and an Ardyn into the graveyard, reanimate the Ardyn. On combat, Ardyn exiles up to 1 target creature card from a graveyard and makes a 5/5 demon copy and gives it Menace Link and Lifelink and Haste. So if you reanimate the Cactuar, it has Haste and Menace and Lifelink, making it very difficult to block. And also it gains you 10,000 life even if they do block. So they have to interact with the combo by destroying Ardyn before it reanimates or destroying Cactuar before it hits them. Usually if they have an instant speed removal, they're going to be wise enough to hit Ardyn first. So we're also playing 1 copy of Atali Primal Conquer, taking her out for 1 last spin before she rotates here very soon. And then as far as our other reanimation package, 1 copy of Rakdos joins up, 4 Zombifys, 4 Valgaboth Faithful. You'll find that this deck is pretty standard, for lack of a better term. There aren't a lot of amazingly interesting pieces in here. It is just a very standard Rakdos Reanimator with that one-shot Jumbo Cactuar combo. I wanted to take it out for a spin as our last video because it really is satisfying to do 10,000 damage to your opponent. So before we head over to the gameplay, I'd like to remind everybody, please like, subscribe, tell all your friends about Head Games. We really appreciate you taking the time to tune in with us. Really looking forward to Edge of Eternity's content, which is going to be a little late because I have a little vacation planned. So we'll be back in no time at all with Edge of Eternity's content in the new post-rotation standard. So thanks as always for watching. Let's play some Head Games. The Millennium Edition, I was about to say Chandra. That's not right. That's a Liliana. Alright, our friends at the top of the Platinum ladder, we are kind of down here near the bottom. Listen, I just took a bunch of tap lands out of this deck before I started. It was running 3 Restless Vents and I cut it down to 1. And here it is, making itself known. I did add a Braid though, because I'm really tired of scooping to Graveyard Hate. So yeah, we can keep this. We need to find a discard spell. That is a discard spell. Slow, but it is a discard spell. Jagged Barrens from our opponent. Not sure what that means. Jagged Barrens in black-red might mean lizards. Let's see. I mean, because the 1 point of damage is completely inconsequential otherwise, unless maybe they're just playing a, that's a Cecil. Alright, let's surveil 1. I need to draw a 4th land, so I'm actually going to toss the Triumph. And we'll say go here. No attacks. I've got a Braid and Bitter Triumph up here, so I can take out their Cecil. I'm not sure that I actually need to, although it does put something in the graveyard. Let's do it, because if we do draw the the untapped land, they are very sad. That's an Ardyn. The Usurper. That is the 4th untapped land. Let's surveil a Cactuar. That's just a swamp. I also will put that down. They're gonna kill Ardyn here, I think. Hold on, hold on. Do I just use the Valgavoth Faithful? That makes more sense, I think. Let's get Ardyn back. And they've got a removal spell. There it is. Infamous Cruel Claw is very cool. So I think I have to kill that. As boring as it is to just take a turn off to kill their Cruel Claw, I think it's correct. Okay. Barbed Servitor is now suspected, which means it can't block, and it has Menace. Okay, let's Theater first, see if we can get a hit. Fear is not great, but we'll take it. Okay. We will get Ardyn again. And we're going to take your Cruel Claw. We're going to attack with your Cruel Claw. Oh, this is so great. Cast that card. Discard this card. Oh, that is a brutal turn. Let's take the Valgavoth's Faithful back. And cast it. Wow, what a brutal turn. That's enough for our opponent. Big Papa Jace. The Fervent is a red achievement. I can keep this. Lots of interaction, lots of card draw. We will get where we need to go unless they are very, very aggressive. Candy Trail means it's probably the artifact deck, which is not insurmountable for us. Raucous Theater on 1, Surveils. We will keep a land. Instant Ramen for our opponent. Draws them a card. Getting that artifact count up. Play a swamp and we'll play Bitter Reunion. We're going to discard the Fear of Missing Out. Perfect. I don't mind this at all. Now, we are in at least a little bit of trouble. Okay, they don't have blue, which is very good for us. Get Lost or Bitter Reunion doesn't mean anything to me. We're going to play Cavern of Souls on Dinosaur. And we are going to Bitter Reunion again. Discarding the Carnosaur. And we'll go ahead and play the Valgavoth's Faithful now. So really, they're looking at our board and going, if I draw an untapped land, they don't know that I don't have it. I've got 6 cards in my hand. High likelihood I've got an untapped land. Our opponent's having mana trouble as well, so not good for them. Okay, we're gonna use these maps to try to draw a land. I will take that. From there, do we use the map token again? Yeah, why not? We'll actually take another land. Impending the Overlord fills our graveyard. We will take one of the Fear of Missing Outs back, one of the FOMOs, attack with the Faithful, and we have to discard a card again. I don't want to discard any of these cards. Am I going to discard a Bitter Triumph? Let's do it. Let's flex and show them what our hand looks like. 4 mana spell, Temporary Lockdown. Gets the Faithful, the Reunion. That's fair. Okay, so what's in our graveyard? Trumpeting Carnosaur? Okay, that's fine. Raucous Theater is going to Surveil. We will... I actually think we're going to bin that Triumph as well. Can't believe we saw all 4 of them. Let's Zombify a Carnosaur. And we'll get this Fear of Missing Out. Is it the land? Yeah. Okay. So I'm not sure what our opponent is doing, actually. Like, I thought that they were on blue-white artifacts. It definitely looks like it, but maybe they're on... Okay, there's a split up. So they are on board wipe deck, but that's actually probably fine. So let's Let's play our Surveil land first. We actually want to draw that Abrade. Let's play Fear of Missing Out. Discarding the Jumbo Cactuar to draw the Abrade. And then we will Zombify the Carnosaur. We will play that Overlord of the Baelmerk, putting a bunch more stuff in our graveyard, looking for an Ardyn. That's a no from us. We'll take a Fear back again. I mean, they're just going to keep casting board wipes. That's my prediction. We are playing against board wipe tribal. They played 2 so far, so let's see if that continues. Not what I expected at all when I saw the first couple of cards of their deck. Okay. So the problem with Ultima is that it is a destroy effect. It really does not work the way that our opponent wants it to. If I had Ardyn, this game would be over. So I don't really have a way to do both things. And I don't have any legendary creatures in the graveyard. I'm just going to play the Rakdos joins up and get a Carnosaur back. We'll play the Valgaboth's Faithful. Play our land for turn and say go. Yeah, we're going to hold up removal. Again, that's three board wipes. Can we see a 4th one, please? Please, opponent, wipe the board a 4th time. Overlord of the Mistmoors, full power. Alright, let's take out the Overlord. That's enough for our opponent. Zasko. What? Why do you have so much punctuation in your name? What am I supposed to take from that? What is the asterisk? That's where the rest of your last name lives? Okay. Excellent hand. Reanimation piece, removal, card draw, fill our graveyard. Can't ask for better than that. I gotta say, after a season of playing decks with complicated lines, it's nice to have one that's just like, this deck is gonna do exactly the same thing, and it's gonna be a very easy choice as to what the right move is. Our opponent is playing the same thing. They pitched a Bitter Reunion. That is very interesting. Okay, so we'll play the Verge. I think we want to Overlord because we don't have it. Like, we don't have a card in our hand that we definitely want to. Pitch with Bitter Reunion. But we can just dump cards, and we will take one of the Fear of Missing Outs back. That is a good hit for us, all things considered. Bitter Reunion again for our opponent. This time they pitched Terror of the Peak, so they are playing a spicier version of this than I am. Now we have removal up, and it may make sense for us to keep that removal up. So the question is, do I run out Valgaboth's Faithful now? And possibly have it be removed. I don't love that line. I honestly think the move might be just Baelmerk again. I'm not really worried if they reanimate Terror of the Peaks. Whew, no Ardyn. Okay, I will take the Fear. I'm really not sure if I want to run Valgaboth's Faithful into a removal spell. I think that I don't. I want to kind of keep it as a 5-mana Reanimator spell. Because their Bitter Reunions are holding up priority, so it's hard for us to tell whether or not they actually have a removal spell. 100% okay with this. Now I'm even more okay with it. Let's Bitter Reunion. And pitch Ardyn. We needed an untapped land. That is precisely what we needed. Okay, so we're just going to pass. We got a full clip. So we have lethal. We have it set up. Yeah, we will take out the terror, pitching one of the FOMOs. Shouldn't I have taken damage from that? Oh, I did. Okay. So they Rakdos joins up the terror. That does not save them. So land, we'll play our swamp. We'll play Valgavoth's Faithful. Use Valgavoth to reanimate Ardyn. Ardyn reanimates the Cactuar. Cactuar gets in for 10,000 damage. Yes! The Alpha Dragon. Do dragons have alphas? Is that established in the canon? We're on the draw. Raucous Theater on 1. Interaction and lots of card filtering. I can keep this. I just gotta say, our opponent was such a good sport that last game, letting us do the thing. Being able to capture 10,000 damage on camera is, I feel like I just unlocked an achievement, and that I can finish the Final Fantasy season happy. We're done now. Let's put this Jumbo Cactuar in the graveyard and show our opponent what we're doing. We will play this Conduit Pylons, also surveilling. We do not need more land. Then we'll play one of the Fears of Missing Out. Pitching one of the other. Are they just going to kill this? That's fine. Does that give us the thing? It does. Okay, so does it make more sense to pitch a land now? I don't think so. Of course, that's what would happen. Emmet Sulk for our opponent. Very cool. We played this fellow last week. They just pitched Atraxa into their graveyard, so now we're probably in trouble. So let's play our Surveil land. We don't need more land. I think I'm going to go ahead and get this Fear of Missing Out of the way, pitching another land and drawing a Bitter Triumph. Okay, so we can deal with their threats for a moment. Yep, Zombify Atraxa. Excellent for our opponent. They are also playing Ardyn. They've got Valgavoth, Bahamut. I feel like what a very clear example this sets for our opponent. Boy, we don't have an Ardyn in our graveyard. Okay, so we're probably boned here. I mean, I have the Bitter Triumph, so we're gonna hold off, see what our opponent does. But they out reanimated us this time. Zombify the Ardyn. Okay, we're gonna put a stop on their. Actually, yeah, we'll discard a card for the first one. And we will pay life for the second one. They have their own Valgavoth's Faithful here. Again, they have out reanimated us. Our only line at this point is to draw a reanimation spell into an Itali, which then allows us to go off. Not really sure if that's gonna actually do anything for us. Okay, so if our opponent has another Reanimator spell, so we'll let them play it out. But we're just gonna GG's and back away from the keyboard. Well, because they can Ardyn our Cactuar. Cool. Well, we killed somebody. Amazing. Clutch City 9. Sounds like a song. Well, I gotta say, 4 games, 20 minutes in, I feel like this is going to be the slowest game of the whole season. Slowest. I absolutely meant fastest. This is going to be the fastest and shortest video of the entire season. And we have played against essentially 3 mirrors out of 4 so far. We'll start with a swamp. Fountain Port Ghost Vacuum for our opponent. This makes me incredibly happy. That makes me incredibly happy. Now watch them have another one. Carrot cake is fine. It's not a ghost vacuum. At this point, anything that's not a ghost vacuum. So we're going to play Fear first to see if we grab a tap land. And we did not. So Ardyn's the only creature in our graveyard. Our opponent found Caretaker's Talent. Okay, yes, Bitter Reunion. Pitching the second Ardyn, looking for an untap land. That is excellent. That is precisely what we want. Do we want to draw that Bitter Reunion next turn? I'm gonna say yes. I want to draw that Bitter Reunion next turn. Okay. We will attack. Because we do not have a compelling reason not to. Sure. I had a feeling that was kind of what was going to happen, right? Like that, you know, they could have used Caretaker's second ability to try to copy something, but a removal spell squashes that. So yeah, this is the mono white control deck I kind of expected to see. It's been a minute since I played against this, but I think that this probably has a good matchup against us because it plays a lot of board wipes. It's capable of making a really good board state. Attacking for 1 is not the best thing our opponent could do right now, but we're okay with it. So we're going to destroy their token, discarding this Trumpeting Carnosaur so that we have something else to get with Ardyn. Now, the problem is that they are probably holding up Get Lost here. We have more than 1 Zombify, so we're still going to do this. We're going to Zombify Ardyn, see if they have the Get Lost, and they do. We'll hold on the attack this time. Okay. Popping the carrot cake. Scrying. Drawing a card. Making blockers. Uh-huh. Okay, Zombify. Round 2. Do you have another Get Lost? Cool. Our opponent's deck is functioning at peak capacity. Those 2 Get Lost at that moment, like their deck did everything it needed to do to beat our deck. Okay, Bitter Reunion. Pitching this land. Fear of missing out, pitching Carnosaur. Actually, none of this matters. Yeah, none of this matters. They've got us because they can power up the Caretaker's Talent and just win. Their deck was flawless. It did exactly what it needed to do at every turn. Can't be mad at that, except that I am. Ooh, look at your Tidus avatar, Lex. Alright, we are on the play. We've got at least one surveil to kind of get us where we need to go. It's not a great hand, but we are on the play. I think I'm going to keep this and see where the surveil gets us. I think I'm going to pitch another land. Okay, life gain deck for our opponent. Fear is a good draw. FOMO. Pitching Ardyn. Trumpeting Carnosaur is a good draw, because now it gives Ardyn something to reanimate. Pridemate gets to just 3, right? Perfect. This is just about as good as it gets, I think. That was very lucky for us. Conduit Pylon Surveils. We do not need another land. We're not going to wait around for our opponent to have something to interact with this. We're just going to take out the Pridemate now, and I'm actually going to hold. Okay, now we've got Ardyn into Carnosaur, and they have an authority of the consoles. Good for you. Laying in Vanguard. Brutal. Brutal. Okay, Ardyn, gain your life. Carnosaur. Gain your life. Zombify goes in my hand. We'll hold. So they may have removal. Cat Collector is interesting for our opponent. It's not really where they want to be right now. Okay. Laying in Vanguard. So they have a lot of life. And they've got an authority of the consoles that slows us down. But I think in terms of sheer power, I don't think they can keep up with us. Because remember, I'm going to attack with a 5/5 next turn. Okay. Yeah, we're going to pitch a land. That really doesn't do anything for us. The cavern doesn't matter, so I'm going to play this, and we're going to steal your Pridemate. We'll attack with the 5/5. There are definitely draws that make their situation way better. Okay. Okay. And 100% okay with this. Taking out half of their board is a big win for me. Gains a life. Gains a life. Bat gets in. This is going to be a bit of a slog with the amount of life gain in their deck, but I think we've got them. Like, we've got ourselves set up. They need to deal with Ardyn, and they need to deal with it with an exile effect. They need to draw Sheltered by Ghosts, which I'm sure that they're running. But at this point, the problem that they're facing is that they don't have any card draw going on, whereas I'm getting a little bit of card advantage, and it kind of looks like that. So let's play this on Dinosaur and play this Carnosaur. I guess I could have destroyed something and reanimated it, but I think my plan here is to actually grow the Ajani's Pridemate and take over their game plan. And Carnosaur might draw into a removal spell. That's where I'm at right now. One life from the console. We will play a Fear of Missing Out. Yes. We want to see more cards. I actually think I'm going to pitch the Zombify, because I think the Rakdos joins up is better right now. So when this creature enters, make a food. Whenever you gain life for the first time each of your turns, create a cat. This just gains you additional life. I'm going to take the Cat Collector. I don't really know if there's a better choice here. It's probably really marginal. Ardyn is a villain of high quality. One, two... Yeah, everybody. They can't kill Ardyn, so there's no reason not to attack with them. I mean, I suppose they could draw a split up and I would be in a lot of trouble. But would I? I'm not sure that I would be in a lot of trouble. Did they just take the heat? They did. I lost. I glitched out there for a minute in my brain. Yeah, Authority of the Consuls is such a. It's such a pet peeve of mine. It is a, I think, very powerful card for 1 mana. I think that it changes the way that the game works pretty significantly. So from here, I think I. What do I have in my graveyard? I have lands and sorceries in my graveyard. Yeah, I think we just go for it, right? So we'll steal your Vanguard. And we'll bring it with everybody. That's not a cat. Oh, I guess you could block Ardyn there. You don't really want to. Yeah, I'm going to bring it with everybody. They don't want to block Ardyn. They'd have to quad block it to kill it, which is not a good plan for them. It allows me to kill 3 of their creatures. It's a terrible plan. That's right. That's exactly how I would do it. Honestly, I think I can just say go. I don't need to reanimate Ardyn again. I can, but I don't need to. You got it. Dang. Dang. Everybody. Pretty sure that's it. I didn't do the math. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Good game, opponent. Woof! Are you a fan of football? Soccer? Rugby? Hockey. Oh. Hockey. Okay. This is fine. 2 reanimation piece, a fill your graveyard, and a conditional interaction spell. It's good enough. It's good enough. Look at our opponent's Y'shtola sleeves. Listen, if you haven't had the pleasure of playing against Y'shtola in Commander... Oh man, I definitely meant to keep that, but also accidentally just clicked just now. Blue-black for our opponent. Spouted Spring does us a damage. I will take a Surveil land on one. I am all here for that. I'm going to keep that. Because really, like, having additional Surveil lands gives us a lot of options. Oh, I messed up. Oh, I glitched out the program. Now we can view our browser this whole time. What are you doing there, friend? Null Priest of Oblivion is a Reanimator piece. That's very interesting. We will play Conduit Pylons and Surveil. Boy, that changes things a little bit. That's tough. I want that. I think it's going to be really important. So I was going to Overlord this turn, but because I want the Bitter Triumph, I want the Bitter Triumph because they appear to be playing a Reanimator deck as well, which means there is a fair likelihood that, yep, I expected them to cut that down. That wasn't really the problem. I just really wanted to have Bitter Triumph up. Okay, so we can Pylon again. I'm gonna keep it. So what's nice is that next turn I can Overlord and hold up Bitter Triumph, depending on what our opponent does. Enduring Curiosity for our opponent. We'll take out the Null Priest so that they don't get to draw a card this turn. We'll play a Sulphurous Springs. Don't you dare. You see how it almost messed me up there? We will Overlord of the Baelmerk. Lots of Algaboth's Faithful there, so that's what I want, right? Yeah, I'll take one of those back. And then I think we probably take this out now. It just slows them down. They still get the Enduring Curiosity, I get that, but it does slow them down. And now they're incentivized to play things onto the board this turn, and now I have Zombify in hand, ready to go. They know I have the Balgaboth Faithful, though, so they're kind of in trouble there. There's another Enduring Curiosity. So now the question is... I think I play what they know that I have. Okay, hold on. There's a non-zero chance that I can dump a Cactuar here. So let's give it a go, because I can still do the thing, right? Yep. I guess I'll just draw that. No. I don't want to draw that. I don't want to draw that. Valgavoth's Faithful, Reanimating Ardyn. We'll take our beats. Ardyn reanimates Trumpeting Carnosaur. Carnosaur discovers. Zombifies a Valgavoth's Faithful. Get in for 5. Okay. Double Enduring Curiosity is very cool for them. Cut downs the Faithful. I'll block. I know they don't think I will, but I absolutely will. Okay, let's play our land for turn. Get a colorless mana. Bitter Triumph. Okay. Go for it. Decline. Let's Zombify Ardyn again. Let's get your Null Priest this time. Swing it for 10. Ardyn is so strong. That is it. All right, friends and opponents, how did we do in our final Final Fantasy video of the season? We were 5-2 on camera. We got to see Jumbo Cactuar do its thing and smash our opponent for 10,000 lifelinking damage. And then in the very next game, our opponent was also playing Ardyn and got to reanimate our Cactuar and smash us in the face for 10,000 lifelinking damage. So really just as good of a game, a set of games as I could have asked for to wrap up the season. So this Rakdos Reanimator build, you do see it a fair amount on the ladder, and I think it's strong. The lines are fairly straightforward and easy to kind of figure out, and it is actually more resilient than it looks. And the really good news is that this deck is fairly rotation proof. We do lose a Tally, which is a really feels like a huge swing when you cast a Tally or reanimate a Tally and then you get several other spells and you build a board with one card. Bitter Reunion is very replaceable. There's lots of other cards that do something similar to this, but otherwise a lot of these cards are sticking around, so we'll definitely see a version of this continuing on the ladder moving forward. So that is all we have for this week and for this season. Thank you all once again for tuning in. If you watched to this point, to the end of the video, thank you you so much. You are literally the best. That's a fantastic thing that you can do to help the algorithm and help us kind of get more traction on the YouTube landscape. So thanks again for watching. Take care of your head.